All right, men of leisure.
And our highly sophisticated women of leisure.
What if we told you
you could be 2 days ahead of everyone else?
While the rest of the world is waiting until Sunday, you could already be listening on Friday.
That's right. Subscribers get a 48-hour jump on every single episode.
Early access, early laughs, same ridiculous hosts.
It's basically like TSA PreCheck, but for leisure.
Hit the subscription link in the show notes and secure your early boarding pass.
And so there I was, about ready to enjoy some really good Spanish cheese. And I was excited about it. When through the door, the manager came running in and screaming, "We've got to evacuate."
There's a kind of adventure you only find when you're not in a hurry. This is Road Adventures of Cycling Men of Leisure. Stories from the open road where routes are questionable, the stops are intentional, and leisure isn't a reward, it's the plan. If you're looking for speed, well, you're lost. But if you're looking for laid-back adventure, good stories, and even better company, welcome home.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Road Adventures of Cycling Men of Leisure. My name is Adam. I am lucky enough to be joined with my good friend, Mr. Michael Sharp, who was telling us a great story.
Oh, yes. And let me tell you, I'll get back to that story in a little bit, but it was a funny situation, an enlightening situation, and just a lot of fun. But we'll talk about that later. How you been, buddy?
Oh, man, I'm good. Guess where I was?
I'm going to guess some conference somewhere, because that seems to be where you've been the whole year.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Learning about the yellow standee line.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is a real thing, ladies and gentlemen. The federal yellow standee line. No, it's real. If you just look it up at home. But anyways, yes, this one was in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Sir, you and I have been to Mount Pleasant, Michigan.
I have been there. Yes, sir.
This was what they call, well, short term is RTMW. Now, what the heck does that mean? Rural Transit Managers Workshop. And so this was more of a state of Michigan. So other conferences I've been to have been, countrywide or nationwide, all kinds of different people from all kinds of places. This was more focused on just if you run a transportation in the state of Michigan. Some really wasn't an option, but I was at a conference. That's not a lie. But I am back. But I have to tell you a funny story. We were, of course, we usually finish a long day of listening to how there's no funds and how the funding is going away, which I don't blame you for not taking that bus driving job. And normally we find ourselves somewhere to have a little watering hole. And my friend Chad told one of the funniest stories. I just think is just funny. And I want to share a little piece. I'm never going to tell the story like him, but they decided to go to their local Rural King last year. You know what a Rural King is?
No. Is that a grocery store?
Yeah. It's like, what's that farm place you have behind your Casey's?
Oh, it's like a Tractor Supply or a Baumgard's is what we've got around here.
And so you can go there and you can put in your order for chickens or chicks or whatever.
It's the time of season.
And so last year, he and his family decided they were going to get 100 chickens and raise the chickens. And he's got a young boy, and his young boy had named all the chickens. And this one chicken they named Jennifer. Well, it turned out Jennifer was not a female chicken. Jennifer happened to be a rooster later on. Well, he told some funny stories about Jennifer, and Jennifer happened to be a really mean, nasty rooster. and so,
well, yeah, they named her Jennifer, or named him Jennifer. That would take anybody off, wouldn't it?
That's correct. So as any good friend would do, the rest of the conference, we decided to find images online of roosters, and then we put like chain necklaces on it that said Jennifer, and we were sending them back and forth. But it was childish and stupid. But then so is conferences sometimes. But we had
and this is how the taxpayers' money was spent.
Hey, I'm a legend. So
can't argue with a shirt, can we?
No, look at that. For those of you on YouTube, my wife bought me a present. It says legend since April 1976. We'll get into that a little bit. So thank you, Lauren, for the wonderful gift. So I wonder what happened in 1976.
Nothing good, I'm quite sure.
No.
Oh, 76. Well, the big thing would have been the bicentennial. 1976 would have been United States bicentennial. So that's what's important about 76.
That's probably what she meant with the shirt that she gave me.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure down at the bottom it says USA. So
we're going to get into some of the top 25 things celebrating 50 years this year. And lucky me, I made the list. So
wow. Where's that viewfinder that I need to use here in a little bit to entertain myself while you take over the show?
By the time this show comes out, I will be 50.
You're pretty happy about that, aren't you?
It's all right. Things happen.
Yeah.
Anyways,
welcome to 50. Things will start happening. Yes.
Yeah.
Things will start creaking that didn't make noise before. You'll have random things hurt that have never hurt before.
That happened at 41 and 2, 3, 4.
There's more to come.
I know.
That was just a preview.
That's right. I got my shingle shots to look forward to. So, but I got to tell you, I'm excited. So last episode, we not teased, but we told people about a new feature we had, which is going to lead into one of our favorite segments, and it's Listener Spotlight. So we had someone actually use the fan mail. If you don't know what this is,
cool.
and when you were unable to use listen to the last episode, go back, listen to it. And on every podcast, in the notes down below, there's a little link that says fan mail. And if you would like to leave us a voice guess for a listener spotlight and or anything you want to just tell us, you can tell us, hey, good to hear you guys, whatever, we're here, we're thinking about you, whatever. We can actually play your voice. Now, I don't want to play the voice yet. So our teammate, good friend, and subscriber, Alex Bell, he was the first one to try it out. He did make a guess,
but
I'm going to let you. Absolutely. Thank you. But I would like to let you read the clues first because I am ecstatic. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, yeah, 5.
You got more than that.
People. Oh yeah, 5. Thank you. 5 people so far that made guesses. Now I don't want to give it away. I'm going to let you give the clues first.
Okay.
But you either made it way too easy.
There was a couple of big ones on this one that pretty much would have led most people down a certain road, or should have maybe led people down a certain road. I thought they were kind of giveaways, but apparently 5, 6, 7 people thought so. So here are the clues from last episode. The city was established after a treaty in the 1830s. It started as a center of trade. Alice Cooper, the rock singer, may or may not know something about this city. German settlers played a large part in the city's development. It could be said that this town was the original, the OG Blue Ribbon City. And this city is not San Juan, but one president did overcome adversity there.
Perfect. Now, we got a lot of people guessing. Let me first play the Alex Bell clip.
Okay.
And by the way, if you do make a guess with fan mail and you don't want your voice on the show, just lead with that. Say, hey, I don't prefer this to happen. Please don't play this on the show. But if you don't want to hear that, that's no problem. But let me lead with that so I know for sure. But let me give you the Alex Bell clip here. Ready?
Do it.
Hey guys, this is Alex down in Georgia, trying out this new feature on fan mail. My guess for this episode's listener spotlight is Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay, so there's the voice. Hopefully, were you able to hear that pretty clearly, sir?
I heard it.
Perfect. Okay, so we also got, let me come here. We also received our good friend Wade Paul, who is a regular person who of our community likes to guess. He said, listener spotlight is Milwaukee, Wisconsin. There's a reference to Theodore Roosevelt getting shot, but his speech in Glass's case caused the bullet to not be fatal. Fun fact, the speech was entitled Progressive Cause Greater Than Any Individual. And I'm pretty sure the blue ribbon is a reference to Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. Sorry about that. And let's see here. Then we got my cousin Mark. And he said it's definitely Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Do you remember our good friend from Ohio, Matt, who gave us a ride for our first brag and stored our
do. Absolutely.
He says, listener spotlight, thank you for an easy one. Oh, boy. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, established after a treaty in the 1830s. 1833 Treaty of Chicago, a Native American removal treaty, started as a center of the trade port city, incorporated in 1846. It could be said that this town was an original blue ribbon city, Pabst Blue Ribbon beer, also Miller and Schlitz. The city is not San Juan, but one president did overcome adversity here. Theodore Roosevelt survived an assassination attempt. Alice Cooper may or may not know something about this city's Wayne's World reference, with Alice describing a possible origin of the name. German settlers played a large part of this city's development, like many in this area, arriving in distinct waves. Our good friend, Mr. Armando, he said, hey guys, sorry, it's been a while. Things have been a little hectic around here. Nothing bad, thankfully. Just listened to the latest episode, and I was listening to Clues. The Blue Ribbon reference screamed beer at me. We've enjoyed many a beer with Mr.
We have indeed, yes.
The Alice Cooper reference hit home, Wayne's World, so it's Milwaukee, or as explained and pronounced, Milwaukee, in the Allegan language. And the rest of it is not for the show, just as I said, if you don't want on the show. So the rest of it's not for the show. So it was just a message to us, sir. So,
okay.
So I believe I may have missed somebody, but I think I have all the guesses. Milwaukee, and lastly, but not least, Milwaukee.
All right. The city for last episode's listener spotlight was Sheboygan. No, I'm kidding. That would have been funny if it was. No, I mean, it's Milwaukee. I think we all knew that at this point in time because great job, everyone. Yes, it started as a trading center after a Native American removal treaty in the 1830s. Alice Cooper in Wayne's World explained to Wayne that Milwaukee translates to the good land in Algonquin, which is one of several ideas of how it got named. They can't pinpoint it down to the exact reason why it's called Milwaukee. German settlers came in 3 waves between 1845 and 1893. The Blue Ribbon, Pabst Blue Ribbon, and Schlitz breweries that was the home to both of them. I don't believe Schlitz is opened anymore, but and the city is not San Juan, which is a dead giveaway when we were talking about presidents, because that would be Theodore Roosevelt. And there was an attempted assassination while he was in Milwaukee to give a speech, and the bullet was blocked. It didn't cause any major problems, and he went on to deliver that speech as we would expect Theodore Roosevelt to do. So there you have it.
Thank you, listeners.
One more thing.
Yes?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say thank you, listeners from Milwaukee. Thank you, all listeners, but thank you for those who are from Milwaukee.
And I do want to welcome a few new countries to our listenership. Welcome to our listeners from Syria, our listeners from Iraq, our listeners from Saudi Arabia, and our listeners from Palestine. Those are 4 new countries that people have started listening from. And I'm starting to wonder, I'm looking at all those countries and I know where they're located in the world. And it seems to me that maybe the conflict going over there is good for our show. Or maybe we're the only thing they can get while they're in the fallout shelters or what have you.
I'm thinking maybe people from the military who have been called over maybe enjoy our show. On behalf of Adam
and Michael,
we both want to say thank you
for your support.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be in Syria or you're always going to have military people in a couple of these countries, but maybe so. Maybe so.
Well, in honor of the 5 guesses and maybe 6 if I missed somebody.
Flawless victory.
5 out of 5. There we go. So, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right. Moving on, just to make sure, Mr. Sharp, okay to move on?
Let's move on.
Let's move on. All right. You have some bourbon stories for us. Some things in the bourbon world.
Well, I've got a couple of pieces of leisure news I'd like to share with everybody. It's not all about bourbon. The first one is definitely not about bourbon. It's about cycling. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about it. It's a really cool story. So this story takes place in Fort Scott, Kansas, which is just right down the road south here. You've actually been through it when we went to the Pittsburgh ride.
Yeah.
It's where my wife's family is from. And they have a community college there. They are home of the Greyhounds. Gizmo is their mascot. And back in February, the team somehow found out that Taylor Frost, a freshman on that basketball team, didn't know how to ride a bicycle. And the coach, Matt Glover, found out about this, and he decided that it would be a great team building activity and a way to celebrate success if the team taught him how to ride a bicycle. So he got a bicycle and a helmet. They took time, and the team went out and taught him how to ride a bicycle. And it was really a cool story. I know it went viral and it was on some of the big news things, but I just really thought that was cool how a basketball team utilized cycling as a way to, again, celebrate the success, do some team building, and do something other than, get off the court and do some things different. And they use bicycling for that. So I thought that was kind of cool. The other thing I wanted to bring up about Fort Scott Community College is they actually have developed a free bike share program. And they have 10 bikes available at different hub locations around Fort Scott. And you sign up for this, and you can, if you're in one of those locations, they're not all on campus, and there's a bicycle out there. You can go take the bicycle and ride it to another location. So I thought that was kind of an innovative way of, getting around Fort Scott. It's not a huge city, definitely manageable on a bicycle, but I just thought that was cool as well. So
you're careful. You're starting to sound like transportation. We talk about scooter share, bike share. Yeah,
no, it's just a interesting thing. Let's not get me into a full blown transportation gig.
Hey,
couple of other things. What's that?
Wait a minute. I said a lot of turnover in transit.
Wonder why. You were just talking about budget cuts. So, another thing I wanted to bring up, I don't know if you've been watching the news lately, but one of the things that we enjoy doing as our listeners and, viewers know is we enjoy a little bourbon and whiskey here and there after rides and such. Due to the economy and tariffs and things like that, and also the millennials are drinking less. So due to all those factors, the whiskey and the distilled spirits markets have really been decreasing, which for you and I is a good thing because now we're starting to find stuff on shelves that we haven't been able to find on shelves before. And the price is definitely going down. So it's a win for us. But there was a couple of stories that came through. You ever heard of the E&J Gallo company?
E&J
Ernest
Gallo.
and Julio Gallo.
No.
And that's okay. They're a winery, Ernest and Julio Gallo. They just finalized an acquisition for Four Roses Distillery. So this month they paid $775 million. And so now they own Four Roses. So I thought that was interesting. Before it was owned by a Japanese company that decided to get out of the distilling market and focus more on healthcare and pharmaceuticals. Honestly, I think they could have, pushed the whiskey as some kind of healthcare remedy, but maybe that's already passed and we can't do that anymore after Prohibition. But they are planning a 100 proof whiskey to be coming out here shortly. And also just to point out, Gallo also owns Horse Soldier, which I know you're familiar with.
Yes, I do enjoy them. Normally I would go back to my rack here, grab a bottle.
Yeah, you'd say, this is it. No visual aids today, huh?
No.
And the last one that I think I'm really excited about is Sazerac just announced that they are proposing a $15 billion deal to acquire Brown-Forman. And if you don't know who Brown-Forman is, which I know Jack Daniel. Do. What's that?
Yeah. Jack Daniels.
They own Jack Daniels. They own Old Forester, and they own one of our favorites, Woodford Reserve.
Yep.
So Sazerac is the owner of Buffalo Trace, and they're trying to get a hold of Jack Daniels, Old Forester, and Woodford Reserve, and there's several other brands in there. But so I thought that was kind of interesting. They've been buying like crazy because back in 2020, they also bought Early Times and Canadian Mist. So the market's kind of shrinking a little bit, but it's interesting to see what might be happening with that moving forward. So the good news is you and I have been to these distilleries, and there is plenty of barrels sitting in barrel houses, rick houses. So we are not going to be out of whiskey anytime soon.
No, it's interesting that you talk about some of the availability because, I have made it my mission, and I truly believe if you are into bourbon or trying to get something special, make friends with your liquor manager, beverage manager, whatever your local store, depending if you're a state store or a grocery store or however you buy your liquor. One of the best ways is to befriend them. I mean, make a connection, talk to them not just because you want something, ask them what's selling. Just believe it or not, I find that 95% of them, they enjoy talking to you. I mean, they're in there because that's their everyday job. And some of them, they may have a personality of a stapler, but I mean, for the most part, I truly believe that people enjoy that. So I always get a feel of what is selling what is the hot mover, if they get something special in. And every now and then I have bought items that really weren't that special to me, but because the beverage manager was so excited and I'm trying to work a connection, I have purchased bottles, to be honest,
Sure.
that really weren't, at the top of my list and turned out to be real secret gems. I get home and, I enjoy them with my neighbor or whatever. But yeah, I mean, sometimes they're really educated, but if you're trying to find something, one of those allocated bottles, they do get them. They get them all the time. And then they select who they give that to. And if you make friends with them, that's how I got my George T. Stagg. I would go in there, day after day after day and just communicate. And then one time at Christmas, he waved me over and said, "Here, I want you to have this." And he still made me pay for it.
Well, yeah. It was a fine bottle. So
Yes,
a little
sir.
jealous there, by the way. But yeah, it's always a good thing to do that. It's an interesting market. I mean, it's not like most things where they just throw everything out on the shelves. You got this allocated versus the non-allocated. So, but no, I those couple stories had been big in the news lately. So I thought I would share. So
I appreciate that. I know you've got the cheese story, but before we get to the cheese story, I decided to do a little research of the top 25 things turning 50 in 2026. Top 25 things, to be clear, turning 50. And I'll roll through these pretty quick. Apple. Apple was founded April 1st, 1976. Baranski, Adam, April 21st, 1976. No.
Shameless plug. Jeez.
The U.S. Bicentennial, as you mentioned, reached its main celebration on July 4th, 1976.
Mm-hmm.
Now, side note, throughout my life, many, many people have purchased items from me, bicentennial proof sets, bicentennial coins, individual coins, bicentennial license plates. My mother has one of the I'm sure probably a lot of people have something like this, but my mother at some time acquired a really neat thing, which was a printout of the top 50 textiles in 1976 and what the price was, like a loaf of bread and things of this nature. And I really wish
you
I
don't
had
mean
that.
textiles, you mean products.
Products. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I was like, top 25 textiles. We got, nylon and polyester.
Oops.
Yes. Products. Top 25 products and their prices.
Yeah. Like a loaf of bread and flour, a gallon of milk, things like that. So, but you don't have that right there with me. I wish I did, but she's got it at her house. But the modern $2 bill was reintroduced in a series for 1976 for the bicentennial. The Concorde began scheduling passenger service July 21st, 1976. Ironically, my father actually got to fly on the Concorde. When he was doing international, they needed him in Europe like yesterday, and he was able to fly on the Concorde. So
now that's cool. Now he wasn't piloting it; he was just flying it to get to an airport that he needed to fly. Still, that's awesome.
Yeah, he commuted and told me that in the front of the plane they had how fast they were going. There was a sign like Mach 3 or whatever.
It's as fast as those things fly or did fly.
Viking 1 landed on Mars on July 20th, 1976. NASA publicly rolled out the Space Shuttle Enterprise on September 17th, 1976. Montreal Summer Olympics were held July 17th through August 1st. Jimmy Carter won the 1976 U.S. presidential election. Black History Month was officially recognized for the presidential level in 1976 under Gerald Ford. The Muppet Show, my favorite, is Animal. I used to be a drummer and loved Animal going a little crazy. It may or may not have been why I went to military school. But it debuted in 1976 and ran through 1981. Rocky was released in 1976 and later won Best Picture. Taxi Driver was released in 1976. Network came out in 1976 and became one of the defining media satires ever made. The movie Carrie hit theaters in 1976. All the presidents.
Stephen King about the car?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
All the President's Men, 1976. The Eagles, Hotel California, arrived in 1976. I would sing it for you, but people probably are driving, and we don't want them to. Stevie Wonder's song, In the Key of Life. Anne Rice's interview with the vampire was published in 1976. Now listen to this. VHS was introduced by JVC in 1976, kicking off a format war it eventually won. Do you remember DivX? DivX was those one-time play DVDs. You rented it, and it only played one time, and like you better not fall asleep.
Yeah, I remember the VHS and what was it, Beta?
Beta Max or Beta? Yeah. Was it Beta Max?
I think it was Beta Max. Yeah.
Atari's Breakout was released in 1976. The first recognized Legionnaire's disease outbreak in Philadelphia in July of 1976. Vietnam was formally unified as a Socialist Republic of Vietnam. And the first Son of Sam attack was in New York City in 1976. So there we go, in honor of my special birthday, where things are going to slowly go downhill now.
We're on the downhill side now. Yeah.
I thought I'd give you a little play-by-play. So
very cool.
Well, tell us about some cheese, my friend. I mean, you got me intrigued now.
Yeah, the cheese, the evacuation. Here's the whole story. This is how it went down. My wife attended high school, as many of us did, with a foreign exchange student. At some point in time, there was a foreign exchange student. Probably not in military school, but if you went to a public high school, a lot of times, one of your 4 years, there was a foreign exchange student. In fact, my wife and I hosted a foreign exchange student several years ago. And his name was Alberto. She came from a little high school down here, actually not too far from Fort Scott. And I mean, I think there's like 35 kids in her graduating class, but not a big school. But Alberto, when he was from Spain, well, he recently decided he wanted to come back, see the school, see the town, and try to get together with some of his fellow classmates. So he put together and made all these arrangements, and they decided to have a get-together, and they had it actually here in Lewisburg up at our steakhouse. They have a special event room or whatever. And so I went with her, and this guy, I got to say, very high energy. He's one of those people that is just fun to listen to because he's just high energy and very exuberant and just, full of life. Very interesting guy. After high school, he went back to Spain, and he is now the CEO of a company called Queso Sierra de let me see if I know how to pronounce Queso Sierra de La Baruna. I'm probably slaughtering that, but that is the name of this cheese company. And they make artisanal cheeses out of sheep milk and goat milk. And it was just really, really interesting because he brought some of different maturities, different ages, and let us try. And it was really, really a unique experience. So he had sliced some up there and was passing it around, and we were all trying it. And fantastic. If you have not had really good, high quality artisanal cheese, you got to try it because it tastes like nothing you've ever had. I mean, it is not Sargento or Kraft or, Velveeta or any of that. I mean, this is like really good, high quality stuff. It was incredible. Well, it just so happened that in the middle of this, him reminiscing, us eating cheese, that kind of thing, the manager came in and it's like, we need to evacuate. All you guys need to go to the bathroom. The sirens started going off and there was a tornado heading our way. So then we all had to evacuate out the room and hang out in the safest room in the building, which apparently is the bathroom. And so we were in there for probably 10 minutes. We came back out. We started eating again and we ordered dinner. And 20 minutes later, she came back in. It's like, we got to go back in. So then we wound up going back in for, 20 more minutes. So I spent a lot of time in the bathroom just hanging out that night because tornadoes were coming through the area. In fact, one hit Hillsdale, which is a town probably, 15 minutes away from us, and did quite a bit of damage. But it was really an interesting experience to, talk with this guy and find out a little bit about the cheese and that type of thing. And so I did a little bit of, thought I'd provide you with a little bit of cheese information.
Okay.
I've tried it. I loved it. Did you know? What's that?
This sounds cheesy.
Oh, this is good. This is good. Cheese is over 7,000 years old.
Wow.
I mean, it's old. Cheese does a 10-to-1 ratio where it takes approximately 10 pounds of milk to produce 1 pound of cheese.
Wow.
And then it's a lot of science involved. In fact, you could appreciate this because this will sound very familiar to you. Obviously it's got a flavor profile and a texture profile. It's all done with a scientific process with microbes, which are cultures, which turn lactose into lactic acid. And as it ages, the lactose is consumed. And so actually aged cheese, even if you're lactose intolerant, you can eat it because the lactose is gone. As cheese ages, it gets a bit crunchy, like crunchy bits, kind of crystalline. And those are actually amino acids that have kind of hardened up. But it's really interesting when you also look at the cheese process, because they age cheese. And they age cheese for the purpose of transforming flavors and textures, creating a product with personality. And when I started looking into this, it's like, that sounds very familiar. The aging process. Why do they age whiskey? Because they want to give it, they want to transform the flavors and the texture, and they want to create a product that you can't just create by adding, brown dye to it, or you can't just get after it comes out of the still. It's got to age and that type of thing. So it was really an interesting evening. I really enjoyed meeting Alberto. If you have not tried Spanish cheese, or certainly artisanal cheese, give it a try. I would highly suggest it. But as I was eating it and, smelling it and tasting it, I kind of felt like we were at a whiskey tasting.
That's pretty cool.
Really taste it, the flavor, that type of thing. In fact, Alberto, if you happen to come across this or listen to this, you need to look at pairing your cheeses, not just with wine and things, but pair them with whiskey, because I think it would be really, really cool. And I think you could get some interesting pairings with whiskey and cheese. So, but we survived. After the second time, they were kind of like, let's hurry up so everybody can go home. But survived just one of the many rounds of horrible weather we've been having out here in the Midwest. So there is my cheese story.
You have definitely been having some weather out there. the other day at my conference, I received a text message and it was a radar picture. And I was like, what am I looking at? And I happened to see payola in the picture. And I zoomed up, and my friend Jeff, who loves the weather, had sent me a picture of your area and what was going on. So you guys had a little touchdown recently. So
had a lot of them right around our area, not just to Hillsdale, but we also had them down south. And my wife works at nights about 45 minutes away in a small community hospital, and the town that she works in had a lot of damage, roof ripped off of a church, things like that. So, and unfortunately, according to the weather forecasters, we're supposed to have some more rounds tomorrow. So let's hope everyone stays nice and safe.
Oh, I will think positive thoughts for you. While you were telling us about the cheese, it made me think of something leisure in cheese, like a charcuterie board. And I thought, just for fun, I would look at what every charcuterie board should have. I wanted to go right along.
I like it.
So the charcuterie board should have sharp cheddar, which is a crowd pleaser, great with salami and crackers. They recommend Gouda, which is creamy, slightly sweet, easy to pair. They recommend some brie, which is soft and rich, nice with a prosciutto or fruit. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this correct. Manchego, firm, buttery, excellent with charzero. I'm probably blowing that.
Chorizo. Chorizo.
Sure.
That's what it's sausage. It's like a spicy Portuguese sausage.
That makes sense. Now that you say that. Blue cheese, bold option for people who want something stronger. Parmesan or aged Asiago, which is a salty, nutty, and great in chunks. Goat cheese, tangy, good with honey or jam. And Harvati, mild and creamy, very approachable. And so that's what every charcuterie board should have. So I just thought...
I like that. That's very interesting. It's interesting that as cheese ages, it gets harder. So you'll notice that when you're having a piece of like cheese, like the inner stuff will be soft, and as you get out to the outside, it gets harder. But one thing I would say on your charcuterie board is get good quality cheese. I'd never really thought about it. I mean, I'm a cheese guy, I just like cheese. But once I've eaten like really good cheese, I'm like, oh, there's a big difference. So,
yeah, for sure. For meats, they recommend salami, prosciutto, and summer sausage, almonds, honey, some jams, higher end jams. It says higher end jams. So
Smuckers won't do it.
I guess Smuckers is out. So, one of my beverages, the liquor, it's actually a grocery store, but they have a whole beverage center. Right as you pass the beverage, they always have like fancy cheeses, and sometimes there's pre-made charcuterie boards, but I understand those are kind of taboo. Those are like,
come on, put them together yourself.
Yeah,
put a little effort in. Now, what kind of whiskey would we be drinking with a charcuterie board? You didn't have that, did you?
No, but I could tell you that I have enjoyed an Angel's Envy Old Fashioned one time with a charcuterie board. It was a smoked old fashioned, actually. Yeah,
Didn't we have a charcuterie board back in January?
Yes, we did, and our Buzzsprout Podfest trip. So. Which, side note, I thought about you because the conference I was just at used HUVA, HWOVA. And the
communication, get in touch with people at your conference application.
Yeah. And then they were giving away a $100 Amazon gift card for the top person who had the most points. And then it was funny because I would get these messages from someone like, hey, Adam, are you going? I'm like, I'm sitting at the table with you. But they would get points from messaging me. And I'm like, yeah, I am going. But it was crazy. Like one girl had like 10,000 points more than anybody else. And so,
because she was just there saying hi to everybody. Can't wait to meet you. See, that's like we talked last episode about it when we were there. You know, I was just like, how you doing? Can't wait to meet you. You know, things like that. And they all count as points. So you can really work the Hoover system.
Yeah. Well, I think probably her boss probably forced her to go to said conference. And she's like, well, I'm going to have some fun.
That's right. So, got to be here.
Well, I've got a couple things. Let's talk about that fan mail. I just want to be crystal clear for anyone who's interested. Really hoping that people will take advantage. I would love to be able to, some of our community members who repetitively are willing to pipe in for the show. Let's hear your voice. You get 60 seconds. We'd love to put you on. Actually, if you want to be a guest, we'll do that too. We'd love to have you as a guest. But fan mail, any podcast platform that you listen to currently, all of them that we partake in, has a fan mail link. Just go to the show notes, like, hey, what the show is about. It's right there at the top of the line. Click fan mail. It'll open up into a web page, and you can record something and give us your voice. If you're not a person who is able to give your voice for one way or another, maybe you live a secret life, maybe the FBI won't allow you, then, of course, that would be... Yeah,
don't do that.
Don't do that. But you can type still fan mail. So we can actually write back now.
Which I please do, because then we won't have to listen to Adam read your emails in text. Please.
Well,
please. In case you didn't know, Adam had a lot of free time last week and programmed a lot of his speed buttons to have new sounds. So I apologize right now for him.
Oh, that's okay.
No, I'm apologizing to them for you.
Adam's voice toys. That reminded me of the old Gong Show.
The old Gong Show. That's right.
That's right. Well, I appreciate the information on the cheese, the story. I'm glad everybody was okay. Nobody was hurt. Anyone who knows that we went to Ragbri knows that we ended in Muscatine. And guess what? My wife was watching YouTube yesterday. She enjoys some gentlemen who do storm chasing, like these live action storm chasers. And as she was watching, they were watching a live feed of Muscatine. And I was like, man, I hope the people of Iowa are okay. So you guys are in that area, man, that whole Midwest area, you guys are really getting boomed on. So,
well, last time we were at Ragbri, we narrowly missed the tornado. So, or the tornado narrowly missed us, I guess we should say. So,
yeah, not good.
It's a real deal.
Not good. Okay. So we have some subscribers to thank.
Yes, we do.
All right. I am going to go here and give you, ladies and gentlemen, for our subscription service, if you do not know, you get a 48-hour jump on the verbal part of the show. To be clear, that is not the YouTube. They don't have any way for me to set that up. YouTube will come out normal on Sunday at 4 o'clock Eastern, every other Sunday. That's our goal anyway. If something happens, we'll let you know. But we would like to thank Alex Bell. Wow, Barbara Sharp. You know her?
Thanks, Mom. Appreciate the support.
Mandy Johnson, Kip, Ryan, Joe, and Dennis Keeler. We appreciate your support. And I do know for 100% fact that the whole system is working, because, you know, when you set something up, you're like, I wonder if that's working. Because our good friend, Mr. Alex Bell, on Saturday, a day before anyone else could have the show, put the verbal guest in.
Send his guest in. So it does work.
Well, I know that it's working. So
cool.
That being said, the guest of Listener Spotlight.
Just a second. Didn't we
Yes,
also
sir.
get?
Oh, yes. I am so sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
So every now and then, we have some wonderful people who open their wallet, and we appreciate you doing that, especially under our circumstances, our current circumstances. And these individuals left us, I won't say how much, but a pretty hefty donation. And I just want to say that I truly believe that a DeBrim really, really, really helps think about, the quality of life, the things you enjoy, such as the Road Adventures of Cycling Men of Leisure podcast, because Keith and Melanie, I cannot tell you how much we appreciate your very large donation. So
Yes, certainly. Thank you. A DeBrim is still not a good fashion choice, but hey, you know what? Looks better on you guys than it does on Adam. So we'll leave it at that.
ladies and gentlemen, we thank Keith and Melanie. Okay. Anyways, so Keith and Melanie, thank you. You definitely helped keep the show going on. Thank you, Michael, for reminding me about that. So
absolutely. Now,
all right,
time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce my good friend, Mr. Michael Sharp, to give us the listener spotlight.
All right. The clues for this episode's listener spotlight are as follows. It started as a trading post in the mid-1800s. This town is named after another town in the United States. I'm not saying it has the same name. What I'm saying is it was literally named after another town. We're naming it because we like this other town, apparently. The town takes balloons seriously. People who like baked goods should spend some extra time here. And it could be said that this town is electrifying.
Now,
no Alice Cooper, no San Juan Hill. This one's probably a little tougher than the last one. You want me to give you another clue?
Yes.
I will guarantee you Adam has never been to this town. In fact, I don't even know if you've been to this state. I'm going to say you haven't, but we'll see.
Well, when you say balloons, because I want the community to guess, I want to say it's like New Mexico or Nevada area or something like that. New Mexico.
Because they're the only ones that have balloons?
No, but they have I think it's the largest balloon fest, right?
Santa Fe, or is it Albuquerque? Santa Fe Balloon Festival, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they have a big balloon festival down there. But this town takes balloons seriously, so we'll see.
Well, let me tell you something. When I go to work tomorrow and I tell Jeff that balloon and the town and taking it serious, he will put a guess in. I guarantee it. Okay. He could teach me everything about hot air balloons. We are talking about hot air balloons, right?
The guess or the clue is this town takes balloons seriously. So you have the clue there.
Okay, that's good.
Maybe they're cold air balloons. I don't know. Maybe they're water balloons. Maybe they're 99 red balloons.
99 red balloons.
Move along.
Wait.
99 red balloons.
Okay, never mind.
This is why children should never be left unattended around electronics.
Hey, you remember our FBI story, how we went to Disney 2 years ago?
And the FBI will be knocking at the door any minute, and then the housekeeper knocked on the door. FBI, open up!
So as I was setting up all my things, I found this clip, and it reminded me. So for those of you who don't know, we were recording the show, and we made a joke that because we had lights and cameras and wood clamps clamping all the equipment to this one of those coffee tables that you can raise and lower. That's on like a spring level thing, and we made a joke that any minute the FBI is going to be here. And so when I found this clip, FBI, open up! Maybe, but
it was recorded. We could not have staged it any better. As soon as we said the FBI will be knocking any time, the guy from, had to do a visual check of our room is like, oh, there's the FBI. I mean, we couldn't have staged that any better if we'd have tried.
No, it was definitely interesting. So I'm sure he walked in, went home to his family, and was like, I don't know what them boys were doing.
I visually looked around real quick. There was no one dead. There was no one dying. I saw no drugs, no weapons. I just left very quickly.
I'm leaving. Well, listen, I've got something to play us out here a little bit. Had to change a little of the way we're doing things with the Apple podcast being video as well as audio. You get your choice. If anyone has 26.4 or higher on the iOS, you can watch us if you choose to on Apple Podcast. You now can watch us on YouTube and Apple Podcast. You have to have 26.4 or higher. But if you go there, you can choose to turn the video on or off. So you get kind of you get your own choice. I mean, it's just like we'd like to give choices. So had to change a little bit of things. But before I do that, I just wanted to make sure, did you have any closing thoughts for us today, sir?
I don't. But thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, let me tell you something. Besides the weather that you're having and besides the rain that we've been having here, I'm sure somewhere, somehow, it's a great day for a bike ride.
It is a great day for a bike ride.
Thank you for riding along with Road Adventures of Cycling Men of Leisure. However you travel, find the leisure your way. See you next time.